Hello YouTube, hello electric riders, Lexi is here back again. Here I have two German motorcycle magazines, both compared to the Energica Rebel versus the Panigale V4. So one of the magazines came to the conclusion is good and even better because of the specifications, and the other will tell you, yeah, is good but not good as the internal combustion motorcycles. So what's the real deal here? So this is probably the reason you clicked this video. You want to know more what's the real deal about the Energica EGO and yeah, electric motorcycles in general. So I will tell you more after the intro.
1,999. So we're about to break the 20k. Yeah. 10, 9, 8, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Bam! What an epic number, man! So crazy, y'all. Oh yeah, let's take a shot of this epic moment. You know, I'm a professional motor vlogger. Come on, where's my professional camera?
Welcome back. So, maybe asking yourself, why this ugly environment behind me? And I can tell you straight, I chose this location because I thought it's epic. Behind you see the past. I will do a review about the future motorcycles or future mobility. So I thought this is the right contrast. Yeah, let's do it here because I can show this area. It's the main depot for oil in Switzerland. They come over the river called the Rhine, and this is the main depot where you get refinery and all the kind of stuff, treatment, what you need to make it usable for cars, for whatever you need it. So, and I thought I will show you this. Yeah, it's a dirty business, you know. I want to show you the real deal. Yeah, I don't cover here anything. This is the real deal. You see it. Maybe you decide by yourself if you want to go internal combustion anymore or choosing for electric. I don't care if you go Tesla, Zero, Energica. I don't care as long as it's environment friendly. Thumbs up, dude. Let's dive deeper into this topic, 20k review. But first up, I have to tell you, this review is more like about Q&A because I thought you got good questions. I will give you a proper answer to this instead of doing 1 hour nerd talk and you will get bored about. I will tell you a little bit about my experience overall, what I like, what I don't like, but in general it's more Q&A because you got good questions. I will give you a proper answer to this. I thought this is the better service for you. So you know about, you got your answers. Well, that's so simple. After I tried several motorcycles over the years and gained some experience, where can your expectation be like? And every time I jump back on the Energica EGO, it's just pure emotion. It just feels so good, and I think, yes, this is it. It's maybe you can feel that, but I can't transfer this emotion over the video. But that's so far. Maybe you can feel that. I don't know. And for the statistics, they're telling you when you buy a new vehicle, in average, after 3 months, your excitement will vanish away. And now I have done 20,000 kilometers, almost a little bit more than a year, riding this motorcycle. And telling you straight, I ride this motorcycle 4 to 5 days every week, at least, if not more. And I'm still stoked about it. It's maybe you can feel that. I don't know. Yeah, but before I get too excited in this video, let's talk about the downsides and about the cons. This is very interesting for you. So, but let's talk about honesty and customer experience in general. So, tell you straight, go on YouTube and search for type of words like BMW RR issues or Panigale V4 issues. You will find plenty of videos about people with issues, having trouble and not having a horrible customer experience. And this is the point I want to tell you is about, it doesn't care only about the motorcycle brand itself. It even more care about the dealership. If you have a dealer that just want to sell motorcycles and say goodbye, never come back, they don't care about you, telling you straight, sooner or later you will have a big problem. First up, I want to say huge thanks to ePerformance, and I really appreciate your efforts you put into it and make me a satisfied customer. But I was recognized as a really good friend. I'll always welcome and can give them a call at any time if I have some questions. So this is a totally different approach. And telling you straight, my experience was when I had this issue with the ABB charging station, and I was stuck out. It was Sunday. I was stuck out in nowhere in Switzerland. Even not possible to charge it anymore. I called them and I said, hey, dude, I have a problem. I can't charge. I'm stuck here in nowhere. And it was Sunday. He came over with the car, picked it up, and brought it back to the dealership, and investigate all the troubles and issues, and can give me in a quarter of an hour, can give me a proper answer. What happened? What is necessary? What you have to do to repair it? And this is what I experienced. I don't tell you it will be the same at your local dealership or something, but this is my experience. It's just honest, But the final question is this electric motorcycle future-proof? And telling you straight, Dorna for the Moto E has chosen this motorcycle because it is the fastest and best performing electric motorcycle out there in the market. And this is the best performing motorcycle since 2014. I know a lot of magazines and a lot of people arguing about which is better, Zero, Harley Davidson or Energica, but there is no doubt this is insanely crazy performing. And this is the reason why Dorna has chosen these motorcycles for the Moto E. But besides that fact, I bought this motorcycle last year, and now this year came out the motorcycles with the bigger battery. And I'm telling you straight, I'm not disappointed. I have a future-proof charging network here in Switzerland. I don't need the bigger battery. Instead, I'm lucky I can save that money instead to spend 6 or 7 grand more for the bigger battery, which I don't need here in Switzerland. So that's just a side topic. But maybe you heard about this politics going on in Austria. In Austria, there is a new law. This claims when your motorcycle is too loud, more than 95 decibel of noise, you're not able to ride it at weekends in Austria. And I guess in the future, some kind more of these stupid laws will come here in Europe, Switzerland, Germany, wherever. So I tell you straight, I have no doubt this motorcycle is future-proof because of noise, because of whatever, this certification of exhaust and all the kind of stuff which will come out. This is future-proof. The one and only thing is, many people thinking about, should I buy an electric motorcycle or not, or should I wait? And this is the hardest question, because if you buy it now, in 1, 2 or 3 years, it will be outdated. This was my experience. I bought the Zero SR with the 6 kilowatt charger, and I thought, hey, this is future-proof. And my experience was, after a year, this is not. I need an Energica. Okay, I just justified my purchase, but whatever. You know what I mean? So I have no doubt this CCS charging standard is future-proof, and I will have a blast in the next 5 or 10 years with that motorcycle, no doubt. So I told you, no more nerd talk anymore. As I told you at the beginning, I want to even more focus on Q&A stuff instead of 1 hour nerd talk nobody is interested in. Just want to give my excitement and experience with that motorcycle in a short topic. But now let's change to Q&A stuff I have prepared. Because of your questions, I have picked the best one, 2 pages full of Q&A stuff. I think this is really important, or this is the stuff you want to know. So let's dive into it. One of the most even returning and repetitive questions is, how's the battery state of charge, or how the battery capacity is still remaining after 20,000 kilometers? Some people have doubts. You can almost throw it away because of this fast charging stuff, and so I did charge from 0 to 100, and at the official public charging station, which you can measure the total consumption of energy. And before I tell you the result, telling you it's not only just the energy in something, it depends on the environment like temperature and moisture and different other circumstances you should put into account when you do this test. So this test is not scientific one. 11 or 12 months ago, I did this test, and I can charge 30.4 kilowatt hour. Almost a month ago, I did this test again at the same charging station, and the result was 30.2 kilowatt hour I can charge. But I'm telling you, even I was surprised about the result. But I can tell you, after 20k, I don't feel any lack of performance or capacity on this motorcycle, and this is quite a good result, because when I go on trips, when I go for a ride, I do fast charging at 30 to 40% of all charges. Besides, I do home charging at slow speeds. But yeah, next topic. So, someone wrote me a following comment. My feedback for this motor is different, so the journalists and all the pro testers. The reality of this version of all users, it's not a race machine. It's only 80 to 100% state of charge. Some way I agree, and some way I don't agree with you. My experience on this motorcycle is even you can go on track from 100 to 60%. This is the range where it's really performing hardcore. And besides, this is the street legal version. Telling you straight, they have programmed the different BMS instead of the Moto E versions. Yeah, Moto E, they care about performance, nothing else. No reliability is not the topic. Yeah, but the street version, they really put a lot thoughts and investigations about reliability when you want to make a proper motorcycle which works for years. So this is the reason when you come to 60% state of charge, it will drop, the curve will drop until 40%. You will feel that significantly drop of a lack of performance. And below 40%, it's definitely not a race motorcycle anymore. So, but you can ride it at highway speeds, 120 km per hour. This is 75 miles per hour on the highway until you reach 5% or lower state of charge. So this is not an issue, but it's just not torquey as a beast. But telling you, the curve is not straight, it's not linear. It's like comes from 100 with a little significant, almost not significant drop to 60%, and after 60% you will feel that lag of performance even more. But this is because Energica programmed the BMS very conservative. They want to protect the battery. They don't want to give you all time much power as possible, because it's programmed on longevity and reliability, and that's the reason this BMS decide the power output a little more conservative. On the Moto E version, this is not the topic, because with a certain state of charge, this is just a guessing of the BMS, depend on the cell voltage on the battery. And if, yeah, this percentage is just a calculation, and the BMS say, yeah, it's at a certain point of state of charge. But when you have lower voltage, you just, the inverter put through more amps to get the same power output. And with the higher voltage at the higher state of charge, it needs less amps. So it's just that's the background. So if a lower state of charge, you can have the same power output just by putting through more amps to compensate that voltage lag. But on the street version, this is not a topic. Just want to say that. But good question, yeah. So next one. Someone wrote me, I have a question. I ride my Ego daily in Sweden, and it's the best motorcycle I ever owned in my entire life. I'm 57 years old and have been riding since the 80s. Yeah, old school rider, man. Thank you for your question. And I have serious problem with cars, motorcycles, and even pedestrians that ride, walk, drive up close and ask questions like, is it electric? How I should handle this, he asked me. And yeah, dude, I totally feel you. So if some stranger came up and asked me questions about the motorcycle, in average, it took a half an hour at least to answer all his questions. That's the reason why I start YouTubing and giving away these business cards. I can refer them to my YouTube channel and say, hey, I really appreciate your interest, and yeah, get informed, watch my YouTube channel, and yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for asking. So I can't get away of this discussion because I don't want to be unfriendly. I don't want to be a badass. I want to share my excitement and yeah, make people introduce people more to electric vehicles in general. And I guess I solved it like this, but I can't give you better advice for that. But maybe you start YouTubing. Why not? I really would like to see you soon. So, or at least do business cards, a website where people can get information about different brands. You know, some of the group here in Switzerland, mostly zero riders, have done a web page just out of excitement, and he called it emotorradfarb.ch. You will see the link below. Just to revert it. Do something like this. Get people informed and share your excitement. That's all about. Thumbs up, you dude. So now, one of the best or most controversial questions here I have. Somebody wrote me. Yeah, it was a lot. I shortened this to the main topic. How is your bike with DC fast charging? What speeds do typically you see? I've tried 6 different fast chargers since I got this bike this week, and I'm getting horribly slow charging speeds as the battery temperature always is in the yellow. Yellow means above 40 degrees and Celsius. And I was riding around the last night, midnight, and it was 50 degrees Celsius outside. This is cool, this is not hot. Outside, the yellow battery light stayed on the entire time. Bike would not charge more than 45 amps, 6 different DC fast chargers rated at 50 kilowatts. So first up, I've done this charging video you see with this motorcycle, the 30.4 kilowatt hour, and I will upload soon different videos about the charging manufacturer itself. I was there for an interview, very exciting stuff. I will upload this soon, because when a charging station is rated for 50 or 150 kilowatt hours, it's not promised that they can deliver the power. Yeah, the best charging speed I can get out of it was 24 kilowatt. And in average on all the charging stations it's about 22 kilowatts. That's what I can expect on the 30.4 kilowatt hour battery. Now telling you got the new bike, the 21.5 kilowatt hour battery, and the main difference is Energica has a patent pending on this cooling system on the smaller battery. And when I get into yellow during a charge, sometimes when it's really hot outside and the motorcycle is exposed in the sun, I can have lower charging rates. But as soon as I go on the highway and crank the throttle, the temperature came down because of the cooling system. But telling you, on the newer version, they had used the same space for instead of the cooling system to adding more capacity, more batteries into this box. So you have more capacity, but kind of this temperature issue. And I was also a little bit surprised because I thought at least the new version should charge the same rate constantly, or even better. But this is not facts. So the question is now, which one is better? Which one is better? So let me give you an answer. Depends on your charging network. For example, Switzerland, New Zealand, you saw Sam bought an Energica, and we have a very tight charging network. This is not an issue. But for example, an American Electrified, which you have 100 miles each charging station across the country, across the highway, and it's just straight. I guess the better choice would be the bigger battery, because you can do with the smaller battery, but you have to go very slow to reach the next charging station. This is not fun. If you want to go at highway speeds, the bigger battery is the better choice. So I want to say, depend on your circumstances in your country. You have to do your own choice: bigger battery or smaller battery, fast charger or a little bit slower charging battery. So you show the data, the bigger battery you have charge in average, the curve come down, but in average it's about 50 kilowatt hour over the entire charge. So my calculation based on your information was, if you go for a ride with both motorcycles, you start on a trip. With this one, you have to recharge it after 120 kilometers the first charge. Meanwhile, those with the bigger battery can ride ahead until you reach a range of 180 kilometers highway speed, and you have to recharge it. Now this one take over until 240 kilometers and need a recharge. And both bikes will meet up again. The bigger bike with the second charge and the smaller bike with the third charge at 360 kilometers. This is the point where both motorcycles meet again. Let me say, after 350 kilometers for longer trips, the smaller battery, you will make more range during the day. But how often you do these long trips? At the end, I can't say which one is better. Depends on your environment, on your charging network. Most motorcyclists take longer breaks on a longer trip, so I don't see that as a downside. So it really depends, charging network and range, which one suits better to you. Next good question. You should do a video about how this motorcycle performs in winter. Switzerland winters can be pretty rough and batteries tend not to like cold. Yes, but last winter I had to crash. I wasn't able to do this video. Do you need that power in winter when you don't had that much grip on the tarmac? Tell you straight, you don't need that power. If you have a lag of power, because my experience is below 10 degrees, 5 degrees, 5 degrees or 0 degrees, you really feel that a little bit lag of power. And also, yeah, you will have less range, like 10 or 50% less range instead to summer conditions. In winter, it's a different topic. I don't see it as a huge problem. When it got cold, I don't ride that much because it's not that funny. I only ride when I need it, and I don't do longer trips in winter. So maybe you're different, but then I can tell you, you calculate the estimate range, take 20% less, so you will be safe. In average, on my experience, I had 10 to 50% less range. So this is only because this engine and the whole motorcycle runs really efficient. I can tell you more details about why it is the most efficient electric motorcycle on this planet in a different video, but that's so far for this. Thank you for your question. So, next question. How long did you have this bike? Simple question, simple answer. I picked it up at the dealership here, E-Performance in Switzerland, at May 24th, 2019. So it's really almost really precise 1 year. So this is the birthday. This is the birthday video for this motorcycle. You see, it's still growing. It's 1 year old. So yeah. Thank you for your question. Next one. Very interesting one. This question came up repetitively, but here I will give you in-depth numbers. So, someone asked me, how is the total cost of ownerships, TCO, after 20k? So, short answer, tires exceeds all other costs. But now, the more in detail explanation about this cost. So, initial service, after 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles was $230. Then 10k and 20k service, it's really almost $400 each, so 800 in total. Insurance I have for this motorcycle here in Switzerland, it's also $800. Electricity was $300 for this 20,000 kilometers, but I have to be honest, I don't pay for any charge here in Switzerland. If you know where, you have some free charging stations sometimes. The total cost is $2,130. But keep in mind, I just have to say, in your country probably will be less expensive, because the service could be in Germany could cost the half. And yeah, insurance and anything else maybe can cost more, maybe can cost less in your country. It depends. But I tell you my experience, Switzerland prices. So expect under your circumstances, it will be less, definitely. So Switzerland costs here, and anywhere. If I go across the border, Germany, it will be way more cheaper. So just to give you a relation for a comparable internal combustion motorcycle like the BMW RR or the Panigale V4, go to the manufacturer's website and they will tell you average consumption is 7 liters, 100 kilometers, 60 miles. So this is calculated very conservative. No one will get this data. in general, you will have more because, yeah, it's a race motorcycle. You will have a blast on it. You're cranking the throttle like everyone do. But official data, 70 liters, 100 kilometers, 60 miles. So here in Switzerland, gasoline price in average is 1.6 bucks or Swiss francs in average. So if you calculate it up to 20,000 kilometers, this is 2,250 bucks just only paid by gasoline. And boom! So I guess this topic is annihilated, just which one is, yeah, whatever. So service and other things is not included in just in that price. You spend whole the thing about gasoline. You can tell you per year an internal combustion is almost the double price for cost of ownership. Depends on your country. I know in US you have super cheap gasoline, but maybe I don't know circumstances. Thank you for asking. So, next question. Have you ever ridden with a passenger? So that's really my main gripe with the Zero SR. I scrape with my belly pan at most corners with a passenger. I tried increasing the preload, but I couldn't get it. Yeah, whatever. So I was a Zero SR owner before in 2008 also. So my experience is, of course, I had the same issue when somebody was behind as a passenger. Hey, my entire pack on the left side was ripped off because I was cornering a little bit much, bang, and it flew away. So, but on the Energica, this is different. Especially the Ego, you can have sick lean angles. You can adjust this the pack here upside down, forward, backward. Yeah, it's a race motorcycle. You can adjust the geometry, also the fork, and yeah, whatever. But yeah, don't explain too much scientific stuff. But even some passenger, I ride a lot with chicks. They're excited about this motorcycle. I always joke it a little bit because it's electric. I don't tell them, but whatever. I never had this issue, and yeah, because yeah. Otherwise, you can adjust. This is a really pro. The spring, the preload, you can adjust here. Some motorcycle, it's very underneath and it's flimsy and heavy to get it, and you need special tool to adjust the preload here. This tool is delivered in your welcome box. You can adjust it here. Just with the tool they deliver to you, you can adjust preload within a few minutes. But I never done. I just done my setup once, and I little experiment with it. But when I have a passenger, it's no big deal. I just ride like every time. So this is the end of the 20K review. But before you click away, just want to address something to you, to my audience. Also Q&A or also most asked questions. But before I address this, I just want to say thank you for your effort. Thank you for the fans who, yeah, give me comments, watch my channel, give me input, share my excitement. That's all about. I really appreciate it and enjoy it. Sharing the excitement for electric motorcycles because electric riding is such a fascinating thing for me. Because yeah, imagine catching sun rays, convert it to energy, and make it possible to ride insane with this motorcycle. This topic alone is just fascinating and mind-blowing for me. And yeah, I want to share my excitement with you and the fascination for this technology. No more trash talk. I want to say thank you for watching. Like always, ride fast, charge fast. See you next time. Boom.